Now what you'll notice that there are two holes, usually on this face piece that sits down. Now, this really works well when it's a square one because it sits right up, this section sits right up against the square beam. But it also works in round. So you place it right up, you push it right against this beam so it's nice and solid. You take a couple of the screws that are provided, and depending on the screwdriver you have, you attach it to the post. There, so there's one right now. So it's still a little teetery, you might say. So we're gonna put a second one in the second hole. Much easier. Now it's not going anywhere. A third way of attaching this birdhouse, our birdhouse, to a post is simply by removing the screws on the front. Because we're going to screw it through the back. Okay, I'm going to make sure you take the screws off the roof too. If you're taking the front off. There's the front. Now you'll see that there's two screw holes here and here that are directly in the back. Okay, they're very small holes, just enough so it doesn't split the wood when you go through like all the other ones. You take your birdhouse down, and if you can, pre-start. Just means push them into the wood about 1/4 of an inch. Now there's 3 holes there. You can decide on which one you want. Now that's simply placed against the post. Now this isn't a live tree, right? So this is just a wooden post, stake, that kind of stuff. And once it's against the post, I do this with my left hand. Line it up, make sure it's straight up and down, vertical. And again, it's solid. And you put the face of the birdhouse back on, screw it all back in so it stays. Okay, so another option you will have to attach your birdhouse is if you want to hang it from a tree. If you want to swing it in a tree by a rope or string, or which is not normally how you do it because they have a tendency to blow around on the heavy winds. And you could just obviously disturb the birds inside. And that's to go to Canadian Tire or your hardware store and pick up something like this. This requires a little bit more work. You have to make sure you have 2 bolts, one on the top, one on the bottom, 2 sets of washers. So they'll end up clamping your wood. You'll have to drill into your roof that size, so 1/16, 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 inch, depending on what size you get. You have to put it in, clamp it all in, and then with this protruding out through the roof, attach your rope to it or your string, snap links, and hook it into your tree. This takes a little bit more work and a little bit more money. The other option is to use a simple D-ring like this, and that simple D-ring can be attached to your back just like that. So you're hanging a picture, screw it in. Just make sure when you screw it in that you use small enough screws that it does not go through the wood on the back, okay? Because you don't want a sharp edge or a sharp point pushing out inside the birdhouse for the birds. With this on it, it allows you to now hang it on a nail, on a screw, a piece of string, rope, tie it in, whatever you wish. That's another option.